Gun Meme Review. What is up, you sexy YouTube mother lovers, and welcome back to your bi-monthly helping of sweet gun memes. This episode, yep, we've got even more Rittenhouse memes. We're gonna make fun of Alec Baldwin, and then whatever the hell else we feel like doing from there. Now remember, if you're submitting memes, if you're doing it on Instagram, use hashtag Gun Meme Review, and if you're doing it over on Reddit, there's either r/gunmemes or r/Brandon Herrera. Yes, it's spelled weird. We lost the first one. A little too spicy. But speaking of spice, let's crack right into the Kyle stuff. So of course, on the last episode of Gun Meme Review, as we've talked about, Kyle is a free man. And of course, the left and anybody else who didn't really watch the trial had a complete meltdown. And their tears tasted delicious. Kyle's victim was denied justice today. Which one? The pedo, the commie thief, or the wife beater? Cope and seethe intensifies. How do you sleep at night supporting someone like Kyle Rittenhouse? Me. Like a fat drunk baby with a binky dipped in NyQuil. Or how anybody sleeps. On a MyPillow. Use promo code 4doors more horrors for... I'm kidding, that probably won't work. One of the new things that came out of this was an interview that he did with Tucker Carlson after the trial, in which he recounted the events and included this little snippet.
I had my rifle pointed in his direction for about a second, and then once I lower my rifle, I noticed that my ejection port is opened about an inch, and Mr. Grosskreutz said I pulled the charging handle, which never happened. I hit the forward assist to close the ejection port.
That's right, my boy Kyle's trying to settle the debate about slick side versus forward assist by proving that there's sometimes a good reason to use a forward assist. Or as we call it around here, failure button. Eugene Stoner. No, it will only add weight and price to the gun. It'll serve no purpose at all in this rifle. The boys with a time machine. Trust me, someone will need it someday.
And I hit the forward assist to...
Yeah, I know we've cracked a lot of jokes about the forward assist as far as being a failure button and, you know, planning for the failure of the AR-15. Also probably referring to it more than once as a jam enhancer, which it definitely can be. But rule of thumb, if you're gonna delete a reciprocating charging handle, probably good to have a feature on that gun to make sure you can force the bolt back into battery, because sometimes bolts do weird things. You know, like not going fully into battery when a guy named Grosskreutz is chasing down the street with a Glock. The enemy cannot use the Glock if you disable the hand. Starship Troopers, if you haven't seen it, massively underrated. What's up, guys? Kyle for 4doorsmorehorrors.com, and today we're going to be looking at bullets and the deleterious downstream effects they have on biceps. If you get that reference, we can be friends. We can be friends, and I'll spot you. By the way, we totally forgot it in the last gun meme review because we just fucking ran out of time. There was a Zoom call during the trial. I think it was during Discovery or something. It was a while ago. I don't know why I didn't see this until fucking recently. But Grosskreutz chair falls apart on him, and Kyle has to try not to lose his shit laughing. It's fucking great. Yeah, no meme on that. Just it's funny. Clever business owners ward off looters with Kyle Rittenhouse scarecrows. Interesting, Kyle was back out on the streets and there were no massive riots. Coincidence, I think. I feel like we're missing something. Oh yeah, the guy who attacked Kyle with the skateboard because skateboard beats gun, right? Anyway, wouldn't want to leave him out. He was a skater boy. Was. If so far this is just the right amount of fucked up, go ahead and subscribe. I think you'll like it here. Now before we talk about the latest dumb thing that Alec Baldwin has said in regards to his fatal negligent discharge, just want to give a quick shout out to LAS Concealment for not shying away from sponsoring a video like this. They make awesome quality holsters. This is of course my EDC, and we just thank them for being a sponsor of the channel and letting us do videos like this. I'll leave the links down there if you want to check them out. On to Alec Baldwin. Now in a move that we all joked about, but absolutely shocked me that it really happened, Alec Baldwin has now moved to blaming the gun.
Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger.
So you never pulled the trigger?
No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them, never.
How did a real bullet get on that set?
I have no idea. Someone put a live bullet in a gun.
Alec Baldwin says he didn't pull the trigger in rush shooting. Press X to doubt. Now, of course, this was a Western movie, so they were using, I believe it was a .45 Long Colt single-action revolver. Something not identical, but very similar to this. In order to make this gun go off, it's single action. It's unloaded, for the record. Like, actually unloaded, not like Alec Baldwin unloaded. In order to make this go off, you can't just pull the trigger because it doesn't do anything. In order for this gun to be ready to fire, you have to pull the hammer back, which rotates the cylinder, locks this into place to where if you pull the trigger, it releases the hammer and fires a round. Really hard to both cock and pull the trigger on a revolver like this completely by accident. I didn't squeeze the trigger or pull the hammer back. The revolver went off by itself. Let's all watch Alec Baldwin blame the gun. I'm not sure if this is just something his attorney is telling him to say or what, but this is by far the most ridiculous element of the story, his story about what happened. Yeah, if you could go ahead and take responsibility for your actions, that'd be great. I could totally get tragic accident, you know, caused by negligence, absolutely, but still an accident. But then you turn back around and start claiming some like borderline impossible bullshit like this, and now I'm like really sketched out by your story. Of course, this was a failure of a ton of people. There should have never been live ammunition on set. There should have been a good chain of custody as to where this firearm went, who checked it, who approved it, before it even got into the hands of the actor in the first place. But it just goes to show, very last line of defense. That's why you should always check, capital one, what's in your cylinder? But for somebody who's relying on not knowing anything about firearms, he sure is an expert on firearm safety, according to Twitter. Every film/TV set that uses guns, fake or otherwise, should have a police officer on set, hired by the production, to specifically monitor weapon safety. Yeah, that's a pretty garbage take. I don't know if you know this or not, but most cops don't know shit about guns. And if there are cops listening to this, most of you probably agree that a lot of your coworkers don't know shit about guns. Seriously, police like firearm qualification is... You're not a fucking trained expert by the time you leave the academy. I'll put it that way. You know who would be an expert, though? An on-set armorer that every movie like this has that was supposed to do this one job. You don't arbitrarily need someone on set with a badge. You need somebody with expertise, which is what we should have had here. I understand there's a ton of cops out there that could outshoot me. One, it's not that hard. Two, there's a lot of cops that genuinely know their shit. But by and large, I think you guys can agree, the average cop is not a trained armorer. I also take issue with this part. It should have a police officer on set hired by the production. Alec Baldwin was the producer on the movie Rust. You are the production. Why the fuck didn't you have one if you wanted one? That's just blame shifting. It was the imaginary cop that I didn't hire, or it was the gun that went off even though I didn't cock the hammer or pull the trigger. I'm gonna owe Alec Baldwin a giant fucking apology if this was like a 1 in a million actual freak accident and he really didn't pull the trigger or the hammer on it, but I feel pretty comfortable right now saying that's probably not the case. But I'm tired of talking about Alec Baldwin, so let's talk about just literally anything else. More gun memes. Me watching the Victory gun meme review. Where are Marty Robbins? I'll make it up to you this time, I promise. Gunfighter ballads and trail songs. Marty Doggins. Big Iron. Tasty Burger. Billy the Kimmed. Pissed on my fucking wife. Karen, give me back my kids. I assure you, darling. The master's feet. I'm gonna come. El Paso. Bonkin' me tonight. Ligma. Based and Valley Pilled. They live in the walls. Tonda Deluxe. El Paso full-length version. Oh my god. This job is giving me brain damage. Dane Bramage. Not getting off that easy. Got a bonus one for you I thought was funny. Barges into town of Agua Fria. Shoots tax evader in the chest. Refuses to elaborate further. Leaves. Arizona Ranger on that Sigma male grind set. Just buy a semi-auto. Cowboy gun go chick chick. Dude, I have been binging the show Yellowstone. I know I'm finally getting around to watching it. And I'm so sold on fucking lever guns. Somehow I didn't own a lever gun, so I fixed that right away. Probably gonna pick up a couple more. Do you guys want to see like a Red Dead, I guess, inspired like lever action, just cowboy video? I think it'd be kind of fun. Been a while since we did a LARP video. I think that'd be neat, just because cowboy guns are fucking cool. AK nerds explaining why they spent $600 on a magazine that's made of more collectible plastic. All right, look, pal, you don't understand the rules, okay? If you can flex, you must. Respect the drip. It's just like the fucking gym bros, honestly. Like, chicks want a guy in shape, pretty lean, got a decent amount of muscle to you, but at a certain point of, like, bodybuilding, you're just doing it for the other gym bros. Just impressing the homies. Same with AK stuff. Cool looking magazines? Okay, awesome. Looks awesome. If you're buying like a $500 prototype Izzy bag, it's just for the other autistic AK nerds. Nobody else cares. I'm in this photo and I don't like it. People who use red dots on handguns can't shoot. That's just something poor people say. I'm of the belief that everyone should know how to use iron sights. And then actually use a red dot. Brandon, I just really want to build a Luty. ATF, infringement noises. Alright, look, I pay them their fuck off money and do all the paperwork for my FFL every year and SOT and all that, so they can fuck right off with that. Just your reminder that in this country pretty much everything's legal if you fill out the right forms and give the government enough money. But yes, that is an opportunity to tell you guys that on the last Cursed Gun images, the Cursed Guns of Call of Duty Vanguard, we did reach our 150,000 like goal, so we're building the fucking Luty. Yeah, we're also still building the St. Petersburg typewriter, but I'm gonna finish this one first, because I like it. That and it's a improvised little homemade build, or at least it's supposed to be, so how hard could it be? But yeah, just bringing a Luty into the world in its original full auto configuration, the way it was meant to be built. That just seems like a fun video. Be sure to turn those notifications on if you haven't already so you don't miss it. Come on, the bell's right there. It's like ring the bell for sex, like those little things, you know, you've seen those at like the gift shops? Because when you ring the notification bell on my channel after you subscribe, you will have more sex. Consensually. You'll become a Sigma Chad who has a lot more sex. Unless you're in prison, in which case, you're gonna fucking hate it. San Francisco police are looking for any information about this man caught not wearing a mask in the supermarket. You know what? Knowing San Francisco, this seems fairly plausible. Yes, ignore the robber with the gun. It's the guy not wearing a mask. That's the problem. Also, yeah, this dude's holding this place up in style. It's a German P-38, it looks like. Puts the papers in the bag. POV. You got your hands on the last box of Tula 7.62 by 39 in America. Yeah, I'll be taking that off your hands. Oh, Panzer of the Lake, what is your wisdom? Don't take criticism from people you wouldn't take advice from. No meme there. Just dad advice. Good advice. Anyhow, guys, before I accidentally become a good influence on too many of you, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this episode of Gun Meme Review. Join us next week for either a range video or your father finally coming home and saying that he's proud of you. It's a range video. Anyhow, guys, I appreciate you watching to the end, and as always, I will see you sexy YouTube mother lovers in the next video. Thanks.
Fuel is my obsession to make the perfect weapon, like Rasputin's rise to the top.
What's up, guys? Kyle from 4doorsmorehorse.com today, and we're going to be looking at .com and today. Trying to like flow into it with the cadence that he's got. And me watching the Victory Gun Meme Review. Where Marty Robin? Why am I leaving the R out? Marty. But yes, that is another opportunity to say. Fuck.